Right. And I think here's the important part, Ryan. QB2, the real QB2, Ty Simpson, will be in Indianapolis. Now, if Ty Simpson is good to go, I would think it would be best for him to not be a bystander and watch Cole Payton maybe potentially build some momentum towards overtaking him. We've discussed how we don't think that that's actually going to happen. Ty Simpson finished the year with a litany of injuries. It didn't seem like the list of injuries that he had were so significant that since the end of the year, since the Rose Bowl, that he would be out for the combine and wouldn't be able to throw. I've said this already. I said this twice yesterday on 2 radio spots that I did. Probably going to keep saying it when people ask me who's got the most to gain. It is Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson has the most to gain from start to finish of the NFL Combine. Medical evaluation, just make sure everything looks good. Interviews. I think that this is a kid that's going to kill the interviews. He is the cliche. He is the better cliche of what everybody wants Garrett Nussmeier to be. He's the coach's son.
Right.
He has this, when you listen to him talk, this is the thing that's like really important when you hear the coach's son description. Go listen to press conferences. Go listen to Garrett Nussmeier and go listen to Ty Simpson, and there's a difference. I think that he has a very cerebral understanding of the game that will translate well for him, maybe developing quicker than your typical one-year starter in college transitioning to the NFL. But the last bit with this, I don't need him to run. I don't need him to do anything else. I feel like he's a natural enough of a passer with a good enough, with a not an elite arm, but a plus enough of an arm that he would look really good in on-field drills. Is it always a little overblown when a guy has one incompletion during those drills? Yes, of course it does. But if you go out there and you look pinpoint and you just look comfortable, that's all we need, comfortable. I think that that does a lot for Ty Simpson, and it would just be an automatic no-brainer, and we would just move forward with, all right, where does he actually fit in the first round rather than the question of, is he a first-rounder?
Man, I have gone, I feel like, to hell and back with the Ty Simpson evaluation, Joe. Because I remember after the first 5 weeks or so when he really started to hit his stride and was playing really good football, and the fanfare followed, right? From the NFL draft space to just the general Twitter space. Like, everybody's like, oh, Ty Simpson's the riser, Ty Simpson's the riser. And I, at that point, was very, I need to see more, right? Like, I need to see more because he is a one-year starter. And as we know, guys can have a hot streak and then come back to reality in a very quick instance. Like, that happens all the time. So I needed to see more data. And unfortunately for Ty and unfortunately for Alabama, they went through a little bit of a tailspin about 3/4 of the way through the season where they just did not play well, and Ty started missing too many throws, and he was errant with the football, and he was more reckless with the football, and his just ball placement and accuracy were just off for a few games. Like, it was. And in the playoffs, I felt like you had some good, some bad, right? So it was another mixture of there were moments there, right? I find myself now that it seems like most people are just, at least in the media space, the general public space, it seems like most people are just out on Ty Simpson now, where they're like, I wouldn't draft Ty Simpson. I'm like, no, I don't hate Ty Simpson. I feel like I am in between those realities here. I'm not fully bought into Ty Simpson, but I'm not all the way out on Ty Simpson because I do think that there is a lot of talent as a thrower there. But he, again, falls into the one-year starter. How are you going to get that developmental upside string along? That's an interesting one. But my biggest concern about Ty Simpson, and the one thing that I'm actually interested to see in Indianapolis more than anything, medicals, of course, matter. A lot of nagging injuries this year, though. So I'm not terribly concerned with the medicals saying this guy's, has a debilitating knee issue, for instance, right? Or something seriously wrong where his long-term is messed up. My biggest concern with Ty Simpson is his frame worries the hell out of me, man. I mean, he was listed at 6'2", 208s, and I think that he was probably not 208s. You know what I mean? He's a small.
Well, he got sick in the middle of the season. That was the other thing that kind of needs to get brought up with this. I don't know if you recall this or not. He got sick and he could only eat bone broth or something.
Oh, really?
Weird. I'm misquoting. He had a stomach issue. Okay. So it really impacted what he was able to hold down. So I do think that that's part of the conversation. I do think that I didn't even mention this, the weigh-in's probably pretty important where now that he's healthy, Does he end up coming in at like 210? Does he end up coming in with a more bulked up frame? We haven't seen this. There is no more ambiguous prospect right now than Ty Simpson. He is almost a fable. Like, who is Ty Simpson? Is he real? Have we all convinced ourselves that he is actually a real human being, but he's not actually?
Yeah, he is the living fable. I think that you hit on it perfectly there. But like, that was where I was going though, is that the weigh-ins matter so much, man. Like, I need Ty Simpson to be like 215 in Indianapolis. Like, I need him to be well put together, because that's my biggest concern right now, Joe, is, and if there was an issue with holding down, obviously like nutrition that's going into your body and being able to hold weight, like that's a very specific situation that happened to him. But regardless, his body where it was breaking down throughout the season as a one-year starter. That's troubling to me. Very troubling to me. Because that guy, he's tough as nails in the pocket. Like, he'll stand in there. I love that. But does he have the body composition to withstand that constant hit inside the pocket? Can he do it? This is a similar conversation. Obviously, much different players. So the situation was very different. But we had this conversation with Lamar Jackson when he was coming out of Louisville, in terms of like, he's rail thin, man. Like, and Lamar showed up to Indianapolis, I think at like 216 or something like that, right? Like, he showed that like my body can hold the proper weight. Ty Simpson being a athletic pocket passer, you're going to take a lot of shots inside of structure. I need him to come in, look good physically, and show that I can hold this weight, I can maintain this weight, and I can handle some of the beating that I'm going to take as an NFL quarterback. Because I think if he answers the biggest question of durability, which I have of him right now, even more than the one-year starter stuff, durability, if he is able to answer that question, I feel much better about Ty Simpson's opportunity and upside to develop to potentially being a starting quarterback in the NFL. But that frame right now really does worry me, especially with the constant just nagging injuries he had throughout the year at Alabama.